Hey guys, this is MugenLord here. I know this is pretty much different than most of my other videos because I don't really talk about anime much on this channel or anime inspired games, licensed games here on this channel, but I want to talk about One Piece Odyssey. And before we dive into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it definitely helps out the channel, and also hit that bell to be notified for more JRPG news in the near future. So let us get right into it. I've really been pushing this game off for quite some time. I wanted to talk about it. Many people in my Discord and people on Twitter has been sending me DMs saying, hey, what do you think about the One Piece Odyssey that's coming to consoles? And I pretty much didn't want to talk about it right away. I wanted to see more on it, and plus my relationship with a lot of anime games or games that's based off the anime properties, I don't have like a good relationship with them, because a lot of them end up just being cash grabs, and it really upsets us because when it comes to anime, there's so much that developers can potentially do with these anime games, because anime is expanded across a variety of different genres that many people love so much about it. Is you could always find something that caters to your taste, and you would think that it would translate well when it comes into video games. It just seems like developers don't really treat it in the same respect that you would see a AAA title that's not based on an anime property at all. And I don't know why. They have all the material there that can just make these into great games rather than cash grabs. So I really didn't have much hope when it comes to the previous One Piece game, which was the World Seeker. I mean, when I first saw it, I said, wow, this is a step up in terms of visuals are concerned. But then I started getting worried as far as the gameplay, as more was starting to be shown, and a few of my friends ended up picking up the game and was really disappointed by it, and also reviewers didn't really like the game as much as well. But then here we are with One Piece Odyssey. This one, like, they're taking a much different approach with the game. They're going with an all-out JRPG style, and it's also going to have turn-based, which looks pretty cool. And it looks like the developers are really wanting to crack down and take this much serious. And I'm starting to see this trend going on, because if you don't know, the Seven Deadly Sins is also coming out with a action RPG of their own as well, and it looks pretty solid. You know, I haven't had hands-on with the game myself, but it looks like that Japanese developers and developers in general are starting to take these licensed anime properties and trying to actually take these a bit more serious, as they should. Because I always said it, that they can have a well-balanced and a well-liked franchise when it comes to a lot of these animes if you make them like a proper game out of them, especially JRPGs. I was hoping that Kakarot was going to do the same thing, because they can go in so many different directions with it. But Dragon Ball Kakarot, after seeing so much of the gameplay and different trailers and stuff, I was not impressed with it at all. But looking at One Piece Odyssey, it looks like they're also going to spend some time as also to introduce new characters and story elements that's not even found in, you know, the manga itself or even in the anime. So we also want to get some original characters to this. Whether or not if it's going to be canon, that's yet to be seen. But from the looks of it, it looks like they're really trying to tap into this brand new audience to grab people to pretty much be able to, who never played One Piece, to be able to actually give the game a try. Also, as far as the combat and how you engage in the game, the enemies will definitely be visible within the world itself, so the players can either choose to engage them or straight out avoid them. And I'm loving the fact is that a lot of JRPGs are starting to do this more and starting to get rid of the whole random encounters, because random encounters can be good sometimes, but for me, who've been playing JRPGs for a long time, random encounters can be quite ridiculous, because it puts you in these battles that you really don't want to be involved in at times, especially if you're overpowered and you just want to avoid certain fights, but then you get dragged into the fights every couple of steps, which a lot of RPGs, especially JRPGs back in the day, was pretty much criminal for just keep putting you in battles every 4 steps. And it seems like a lot of these JRPGs now are pretty much going away with that and allowing you to approach each battle on your own terms, which is really, really cool. And like I said before, the battles play out in a traditional turn-based system, but this system is also called the scramble or area battles, and this divides up battles into different areas where enemies and your party members will be randomly split to face off. Oh, now that's interesting, and I'm Didn't know that was going to be a thing, but battles will also have a dramatic scene, elements that allow a random situation to influence the fight. An example given was that Sanji may be unable to fight because he finds himself surrounded by women. Overcoming these scenes rewards players with greater rewards. So we do know that you'll be able to control all members, including, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, and Brook themselves. And you can switch between them at any time with their own unique abilities that allow you to pretty much traverse through obstacles and everything in that. So they definitely want to explore in the pirate aspects where you can do treasure hunting, and they want to focus a lot on the puzzles. But getting back to the battles, the fact is that they have scramble area battles. I think that is a unique twist, because I think when it comes to the anime property as well, where they have a lot of developers have a hard time, they also want to pretty much incorporate elements from the anime itself by incorporating in the gameplay. And that's where the problem comes at with a lot of these anime licensed property for these games, is because trying to implement some aspects in the anime into the gameplay seems to not balance out well, or it just overall breaks the game in general. So I think this dynamic dramatic scene that they have in the scramble area battles, I think is a unique twist to have, which means it will always make the battles kind of surprising, and you don't know how these battles going to end up as you progress to the game. So I definitely want to see how they'll definitely take that approach with that. There will be no multiplayer. It's going to be a single player experience, which makes sense since it's definitely a JRPG and it's turn-based. So I can't see how that would actually, have a multiplayer component, especially if you go into the turn-based route with the various different dramatic scenes and battles that they have for this. But the overall experience, I think, is going to be pretty unique. One Piece is like the game they've been experimenting with the most when it comes to how they want to approach these new licensed games when it comes to anime, and I'm all for it. And the thing is, I watched the anime on Foxbox when I was much younger, when it was in the English dub, and I really couldn't get into it. Not because the English dub, but more so because of the art style and how the characters are drawn and everything. It just really pushed me away from it. But from throughout the years, I have been seeing so many good things about the anime, and I definitely would love to get into it. But now we're over 1,000 episodes in. I really don't think, will it be necessary, or will I ever get into it now, because it's too many episodes, and I'm not really a manga reader like that. So trying to read through most of it too, I think it would be too much. But to actually play the game, I don't know. If I get the game, if the game turns out to look like it's appealing, I may even give that a try. And if the game ends up being pretty good, who knows? I may end up watching the anime altogether, no matter how many episodes it is. So I think that is the perfect way to draw in a new audience by spreading out to try these different games. As well, if you look at Fairy Tail also has a turn-based RPG, which they're trying to, shake things up a bit as well from what people have played and like about the game. So that pretty much wraps up this video about One Piece Odyssey. It looks pretty interesting. I'm definitely going to continue to follow up on it to see how it turns out, if it's something that I'll be willing to give a try. But I definitely want to know in the comment sections below, what do you guys think about One Piece Odyssey? Is it something that you want to give a try, if you want to pick it up? I definitely like to know. Have you ever read the manga? Have you even watched the anime itself? I also want to know that. Tell me, what do you feel about the One Piece series altogether? So if you liked the video, hit that like button, because it definitely helps me out in the algorithm. And don't forget to hit that bell to be notified for more One Piece news in the near future and JRPGs in general. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.